There you are, all shattered, brooding over how to get her back, right? Let me hit you with some cold, hard truth. Whining, sweet messages, and desperation won't make her come back, least of all crawling on your knees. Want her to regret it bitterly? Want to see her knocking on your door? Pay attention, my friend. Indifference isn't just an ally. It's the heavy artillery you need. Today, I'm going to show you how the so-called law of detachment will flip the script and take you from a pathetic, needy guy to a man she'll want back. But I'll warn you now, if you're a fan of excuses and whining, don't even bother. This is for those who have the courage to take control of their own lives. Now, a quick shout out before the reality slap. This video is here because someone had the decency to hit like and subscribe before you did. So, do me a favor and return the gesture, okay? Like, subscribe, and drop a thanks in the comments because the algorithm doesn't work alone, and I'm not here for free to decorate your timeline. No more beating around the bush. Let's get to the video. Number 1. Why does she disappear when you chase after her? She left. And you? You went into panic mode, thinking you need to do something right now to bring her back. After all, the more you show you care, the more she'll value that, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Here's a reality check. The more you chase her, the more she feels like she's in control. And you know what people do with things they have in excess? They throw them away. That's right. Your persistence not only shows your hand, but does the exact opposite of what you want. She realizes she's controlling the situation, and with that, she loses interest. Think about it. How many messages have you sent? How many, "Hey stranger," or "Just wanted to check how you're doing" texts have you tossed into the wind? Or worse, how many emotional long rights have you poured out thinking they'd change the game? The harsh truth is, all of that only reinforces one thing. You're completely at her mercy. And do you know what she sees in that? Weakness. It's like trying to fish by jumping into the river with your hands. The fish not only flees, but also thinks you're funny. Desperation repels. Persistence drives away. It's biology, psychology, or just common sense, but that's how it works. Oh, and don't come at me with, "But I just want to show I care." I get it. It comes from a place of pain, trying to piece together what's broken. It's human, sure. But this approach is sinking you even deeper. Because from her perspective, you don't seem confident, secure, or interesting. You seem dependent. And do you know what dependence does to attraction? It buries it alive. The reality is this. When you position yourself as always available, she stops seeing you as something special. Scarcity is what gives value. Absence is what creates mystery. Do you really want to change the game? Stop chasing her. Instead, disappear. This is where the famous law of detachment comes into play, and my friend, it's with this law that you have a chance to resurrect the attraction. Number 2, what is the law of detachment and why does it work? Now that you've realized that chasing her only makes her run faster away, let's get straight to the point. The law of detachment. And no, detachment isn't just ignoring messages or pretending you're a Zen monk who doesn't care. It's a total mindset reset. It's about changing how you view the breakup, the situation, and most importantly, yourself. The logic is brutally simple. The more you stop investing energy in her and start investing in yourself, the more she realizes you're not where she expected you to be, in the palm of her hand. Want to know why this is so effective? Sit tight, because here comes the truth. Humans are addicted to validation. When she broke up with you, she probably thought, "Oh, he's going to chase me, flood me with messages, beg, and I'll feel like the last cookie in the jar." But surprise. You disappear. Absolute silence. No long texts. No sweet good mornings. Not even that cliche new beginnings post on Instagram. Do you know what happens? Her mind goes into overdrive. Has he moved on already? Did he find someone else? Why isn't he chasing me like a needy puppy? And that's exactly where the magic happens. Doubt, curiosity, the discomfort of realizing that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't that irreplaceable after all. But listen up. The law of detachment isn't some cheap trick. It's not about ignoring messages to cause jealousy or pretending to be indifferent while you cry in the shower. It's about reclaiming what truly matters, your self-worth. First for yourself. The rest is a consequence. Want a practical example? Before, you sent messages every Saturday. Hey, how's it going? Miss talking to you. Now you disappear. No messages, no likes on old photos, nothing. She looks at her phone and perceives what? A silence the size of the universe. And do you know what silence does? It weighs heavy. It's annoying. It screams louder than 1,000 desperate messages. But here's the secret. The law of detachment doesn't work just because she misses you. It works because in the meantime, you're busy taking back control of your life. And that, my dear, is what truly changes the game. But how do I apply this in daily life? Hold on, because that's what we're going to talk about next. Number 3, how to apply the law of detachment intelligently. All right, now that you understand the concept and why the law of detachment works, it's time to do what needs to be done. No use just having theory in your head, my friend. This is about action, and action with strategy. Go into no contact mode. Yeah, you've heard of it, but I bet you've never done it right. No contact means cutting off all communication. This means no messages, no likes on her stories or posts, no acting like Sherlock Holmes to find out where she's going and showing up accidentally. And why is this essential? Because as long as you remain minimally available, she still feels like she has control over you. No contact isn't about punishing her. It's about showing yourself that you can live without her. Use this time to become the best version of yourself. Now, here comes the most important point. During this silence, you're not going to sit on the couch crying and binge-watching series. You're going to work on yourself. Appearance. Take care of yourself. Buy new clothes. Give your look a makeover. Join a gym. Not to impress her, but so you can look in the mirror and be proud of who you see. Mindset. Invest in knowledge. Read books that challenge your mind. Discover hobbies you've always wanted to try, or even learn something new. A language, an instrument, whatever. Keep your mind occupied with things that make you grow. Social life. Get out of your shell. Reconnect with friends you've neglected. Meet new people. Say yes to invitations you used to ignore. The world doesn't revolve around her, and your life shouldn't either. Don't be afraid of being forgotten. Oh, but what if she forgets about me? My dear, let me reassure you, she won't. The more you distance yourself, the more she notices the void left by your absence. Humans only miss what they've lost. And more. The less available you are, the more valuable you become. No cheap indirect messages on social media. For the love of everything sacred, avoid posting phrases like, "learn to live without you," or those forced selfies trying to look like the happiest guy in the world. That's not detachment. It's needy with glitter. Instead, use your social media wisely. Show, naturally, that your life is going great. A new hobby, a trip, a fun moment with friends. Be subtle. Those who need to notice will understand that this takes time. Immediate results? Forget it. Applying the law of detachment requires patience and consistency. Every relapse, like sending a message or trying to get her attention, is a giant step backward. True detachment isn't easy, but it's what's going to change the game. Spoiler: when you start acting this way, you can bet she'll notice. And, my friend, indifferent is the last thing she'll feel. We'll talk about that in the next step. Before we continue, listen up, champ. Are you tired of being her luxury doormat, the one who accepts every crap she throws your way and even thanks her for it? Well, it's time to wake up. No more swallowing disrespect, no more being kicked like a garbage bag whenever she wants. Today is the day you flip this ridiculous game. In the description, there's a digital book waiting for you. And you know what for? To teach you how to be a challenge, to stop being that human rug, and to put any woman in her place without mercy, without whining. You'll learn to never bow your head to anyone again, and, as a bonus, you'll discover how to make her respect you, or, better yet, how not to give a damn if she doesn't want to. The world doesn't pity the unfortunate, my friend. It's time to take on the stance of someone who sets the rules, or continue being the idiot who accepts everything. The choice is yours. Number 4. The impact of indifference on her behavior. You followed the instructions to the letter, cut off contact, focused on yourself, and let go of someone who chose to leave you. And now the inevitable question arises, what's going through her head? Did she even notice I disappeared? Let me put an end to your doubt once and for all. Indifference never goes unnoticed. When you stop chasing, don't react, and disappear from her life, her mind goes into alert mode. This isn't her choice, it's almost instinctual. The absence you create is like a void she doesn't know how to fill. What happens to her? First comes the pretending. She'll try to convince herself and the world that she's perfectly fine without you. She'll post photos smiling, going out, living her best life. Do you know what that means? Nothing. It's just a defense mechanism. Internally, the silence starts to bother her. The "why isn't he reaching out?" starts popping up in her mind. Then comes the curiosity. As days pass, she begins to wonder, has he already moved on? Is he seeing someone else? What happened that he's not texting me anymore? This is where detachment really starts to show its power. You've stopped being predictable, and that bothers her. The lack of validation makes her start searching for answers where there are none. So, doubt arises. This is the critical point. She starts questioning, did I make the right decision? The absence not only causes longing, but also messes up the certainties she had when she decided to leave. After all, she expected you to beg. Now she has no idea where you are emotionally, and that makes her uncomfortable. The tests begin. Prepare yourself. It's likely that, at this stage, she'll test you. A "hey, how's it going?" A "saw something that reminded me of you today," or even a like on your profile picture. But beware, this doesn't mean she wants to get back. Most of the time, she just wants to see if you're still on her radar, if you still react, if you're still that easy to manipulate guy. How to react to this? Calm down. Be strategic. If you respond, keep a polite yet distant tone. Don't give away the game. Show that you're fine, but life goes on with or without her. This will confuse her even more because now you're not the same person she left behind. The big turnaround. The longer you maintain your indifference, the more intense her reaction will be. Curiosity turns into doubt. Doubt turns into regret. And while she's trying to figure out what happened to you, something much more important is happening. You're transforming into such a great version of yourself that neither she nor anyone else will ignore you. And now comes the final question: how to prepare to handle her when she decides she wants to come back. That's what we'll cover in the next section. Number 5. When she comes back, how to maintain your stance. You did what you needed to do. You disappeared, focused on yourself, let the law of detachment work its magic. And now, as expected, she's coming back. It could be a, "Hey, how's it going?" an unexpected call, or even a direct request to talk. But here comes the crucial moment. What you do now will decide the game. The biggest mistake you can make is throwing all your progress in the trash. Many guys revert to what they were before. Anxious, desperate, willing to accept anything to have her back. Don't be that guy. If she felt your absence, great, but now you need to maintain control. Rules for handling her return. No rush. She sent you a message? Perfect. But you don't need to reply in 30 seconds. Show that your life continues to be busy, interesting, and that you're not available at any moment. This keeps the power balance on your side. Politeness with distance. When you respond, be polite and friendly, but maintain emotional distance. Don't pour your heart out or seem overly excited. Show that you're fine with or without her. This creates an image of stability, something that is extremely attractive. Set boundaries. If she suggests meeting up, don't agree immediately. Show that your schedule is important. Something like, "I'll see how my week looks and let you know." This reinforces that your priority now is yourself, not her. Beware of nostalgia. If she starts reminiscing about the good times in the relationship or says she misses you, don't fall into that trap. Respond lightly without emotionally committing. For example, remember when we traveled together? It was so special. Yeah, those were great memories. End of conversation. Show that you value the past, but you're not stuck in it. Balanced interest with mystery. If you seem too uninterested, you might push her away. If you show that you're still entirely in her game, her interest evaporates. The trick is the middle ground. Show that you appreciate the contact, but without fully giving in. The key point. The transformation was for you. Don't forget all the work you did. The silence, the focus on yourself, the growth was for you. She may want to come back, but she needs to understand that you're now someone who doesn't accept crumbs or disrespect. And here's the truth. When you maintain this stance, the control is yours. If she decides to stay, it's because she recognized your value. If not, you've already won, because now you know you're much more than someone dependent on validation. Regardless of her choice, you've already come out on top. Now you know the secret. The law of detachment was never just about making her regret it. It's about you reclaiming control of your life. You stopped begging for attention, understood the weight of indifference, and rebirthed yourself as someone who doesn't depend on anyone to feel complete. But here's the most important point. The true victory isn't her running back to you. It's you transforming into the version of yourself she never imagined could exist. And you know what? If she comes back, great. If not, even better. Because in the end, you're in command, with a life that's entirely yours, built by your own hands. Now, it's your turn. Write in the comments what you thought. Share this video with that friend who's always taking an emotional beating, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's turn that regret into pure power. It's time to change the story.